Africa Trade Engine is really a private sector initiative that brings forth the AfCTA, right, as the Africa Continental Trade Agreement, right, but it's really powered here by the initiatives of the private sector, right, and the idea is industrialization in Africa all the way from manufacturing, right, to get products on retail shelves. Today, right, a lot of product about 80% of product that is consumed right within the African market is imported. The idea is really to do import substitution by giving brands the opportunity to manufacture on the continent, right, but give them really an end-to-end capability that would enable them to manufacture and distribute all the way to retail stores. This also would help young SMEs who also want to launch brands that didn't formally have the platform to be able to do formulations, right, and to do any form of quality assurance, to be able to bring such products onto the platform, right, and achieve the same kind of distribution that a global brand would be able to achieve. The platform, right, covers everything from product formulation, right, where you are working with parties to formulate products for the market that you are in, right, leveraging a lot of locally sourced raw materials, and then all the way to technology-enabled distribution, right, and also the manufacturing element of it, where you are able to use the distribution data to plan the manufacturing, right, and all this is really data analytics and all the data you are gathering through the distribution systems to make that entire channel much more efficient. This initiative is at its core driven by TRT Manufacturing, right, that is a contract manufacturer, and TradeDepot, that is a distribution business across West Africa, right. TRT is a manufacturer that has set up an initial hub in South Africa and is rolling out other hubs, one in West Africa, right, to support this. Each of these entities, right, have their own independent funding at this point in time, right. TradeDepot is funded and backed by parties like the IFC, BII, right, a couple of DFIs, and also venture capital firms. TRT is also financed and supported by the Afro-Exim Bank, right. So all these together, right, are pulling together to be able to then support ATE, which is now a JV between TRT and TradeDepot. From the inception, right, TRT and TradeDepot already operate in Southern Africa and West Africa, right, which account for basically the two biggest markets, right, in sub-Saharan Africa. The idea is to use these two regions as an anchor and then start to scale out across, right, Central Africa, East Africa, and the rest of the continent. In terms of categories, right, today a lot of that is anchored in the FMCG categories that cut across personal care, home care, right, and also food and beverage, right. But then, as the CEO mentioned earlier, right, we have also embarked on initiatives that expand us now into the textile space. So we'll be basically working with parties, both multinationals and local parties, right, who are playing within any of these segments. For us, the vision of the need to be able to industrialize Africa, right, was clear from the get-go. If you look at the general trajectory, right, in 2035, Africa would account for about 20% of the world population, right. We can't continue then relying on imports to support that growth in population. So industrialization must happen, right. So the coming together of TRT and TradeDepot for this initiative was a clear coming together of two parties who had exactly the same vision, but had started the journey on opposite ends of the spectrum. TRT had started the journey on the side of manufacturing. TradeDepot had started the journey on the side of digital distribution, right? So it became a no-brainer that as opposed to reinventing the wheel, TradeDepot going to extend to try and build manufacturing capability to realize this vision, and TRT going to build distribution, a joint venture, right, between both parties would make this initiative come to realization much faster. For us, key milestones, right, and I think also Kachi touched on this, is, right, what percentage right, of items are we able to substitute, right, as being produced on the continent, right? And for us, this is a key metric where we are tracking, right? So key milestone is to be able to, first of all, onboard all the current customers that independently TRT and TradeDepot already had, right, on this platform, bring them together and already let them, right, make that first leap, but also directly start working with smaller SMEs, right, so that we are already able to accelerate a portfolio of SMEs who we had previously not been able to distribute because of the quality or instability in the quality of their products, but then bring them into such a platform so that we can deliver really an end-to-end solution for that. So in the short run, right, those are the low-hanging fruits that we see, and that is where we are starting off as key milestone.